Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the YouTube channel grecochess, where we analyze, discuss, and explain the various aspects of the game of chess. I'm your host, my name is Harry and for the next few days we'll be discussing games that have been completed in the online grecochess tournament that is hosted by chess.com. If you've seen the previous videos, you know that we've completed the qualifying round. 4 players have advanced to the final round, and these are the following: Maxim Govorukha from the Ukraine, Barak Seven from Israel, myskin from Italy, and myself. My user ID is theharry, and I'm from Greece. There are going to be totally 12 games among the 4 players because each of them faces the other 3 players, once with white and once with black. And already 7 out of these 12 games have been completed. 2 of them ended very fast because one of the participants decided to resign on move number 1. And we're not going to cover these 2 games. We'll cover the other 5 games starting from today. Most likely we'll have 4 of these 5 before Friday's round number 2. In fact, we may have all 5 by Friday because Friday evening is the third round, of the December Swiss tournament of the Queen's Chess Club. Maybe Saturday we'll have that game, and then starting from Sunday we'll have any other games that may have been concluded. So with this video we start with the earliest game that has been concluded, other of course than the 2 ones that ended on move number 1. And this game is, let me share my screen with you. And I'm only going to share a part of the screen, as you see, because we're going to copy from the webpage of chess.com, from the link, and I don't want to spoil the results. I want us to be able to follow it move by move as it goes from the beginning until the end. You see here the opponents are the following: myskin from Italy with the white pieces, and myself, theharry from Greece with the black pieces. You see that myskin has a rating higher than mine. These, of course, are the ratings for chess.com for the daily games. In chess.com, you can have various ratings: one for the daily, one for the rapid, one for the bliss, and one for the bullet. And since we have 3 days per move, we are going with the daily ratings. Myskin has a higher rating than me. He was the favorite to win, but let's see what happened. Starts with the most popular first move for white, pawn to e4. And by the way, what you're going to see is that because I am involved, you're going to see down is myself with the black pieces. Myself, pawn to e6, my favorite French defense. And the comment of the coach says the French defense concedes some space in exchange for a solid pawn structure with counter-attacking chances. Another book move, taking the center, and both of the bishops are ready for development. And d5, making the standard second move of the French defense. Book moves you see here. Each time you see this little sign, this means book. And as perhaps you may know, on the left you're going to see who has what advantage. Currently it shows white has 0.4 advantage. This doesn't mean too much. We are still following theory, and white will have a small advantage because he started first. Bishop to d3. Bishop d3 develops the bishop toward the center and defends the e4 pawn. I'm reading the comments of the coach. I take the pawn. That was an even swap of material. Takes back, clear recapture. And knight f6, developing is good and even better with that tempo on a bishop, says the coach. And of course, bishop goes back to f3, a correct move to get the bishop out of harm's way. My fifth move is pawn to c5. This is a book move, meaning it follows established opening theory played by top players for years. That is what the coach is saying. And we completed the first 5 moves, and you see a wonderful 0.0 here, meaning the 2 players are even. If you go to the details, you'll see, if you want to see the next decimal digit, supposedly I have an advantage by 0.09, which basically means nothing. We've both followed opening theory until now. Let's continue. Knight to e2 again. Book, your opponent reinforced the defense of their pawn, says the coach. And my knight goes to c6, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Bishop to e3 for my skin. This move protects the pawn, which was vulnerable with insufficient defenders. And this seems to be the last book move, as I see in the notes. Let's see what's going to happen. My queen goes to b6. And the comment, you see the question mark with exclamation mark in an orange circle means inaccuracy. And the code says this isn't a mistake, but there was something better for you, meaning knight to go to d5. It's clearly marked with a green arrow. That is what the computer, which is stock for 16, believes would have been better for black. And the code says their best option was to castle kingside, another inaccuracy. You see the green arrow. Why? Because you want to control the center. You definitely don't want your pawn that was already in the center to take it off the center and then lose it. I take with my bishop. Of course, you exchange pieces of equal value. This is a fair trade, says the coach, and the logical capture, says again the coach. And it's the development of the knight to c3. The coach says they bring out their knight, increasing their control over the center, but it is only a good move. You see, the check mark here means, in a green circle, means it's a good move. Meaning not so good as a brilliant, a, a great move, the best move, or at least an exceptional move. And kingside castling. Castling kingside helps to complete your developments as a coach, and we completed the first 10 moves, and you see I have a small advantage of 0.6, but let's see how game is going to continue. Castling also for my skin. Not not what the computer would like, because if they took my knight on c6, then I would have a very weak pawn on c6. After the exchange. And the coach says kingside castling is excellent. They made a solid choice and castled same side as you did. Excellent, but not the best. Maru goes to b8. Inaccuracy, says the coach. Your better option was to win a tempo by threatening a queen. You permitted the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a queen. So they would like me to have placed my rook on d8. Knight to g3 for my skin. The best option was to win a tempo by threatening a queen, and this show how the knight should have gone to a4. You get a chance to win a tempo by threatening a queen. And that's what I did. Rook to e8, to d8. Gain time because your opponent must deal with your threat. Queen to e2 for my skin, remove the queen to safety. And my queen goes to b6. Coach doesn't like it. It's only good. This move is okay, but not what I would have played, says the coach. They want me, my knight, to go to d4 and threaten both the queen and the bishop. The queen, where can the queen go? It can go almost nowhere. It cannot go to d1 because rook will take it, and maybe it could go to e3 because, of course, there is a pawn on g2, but I would like my skin to take with the pawn because then they weaken the king very much. Let's see what's happened. Pawn to b3, another good move. This move puts their pawn on a safer square because my queen was ready to take it, even though the computer would have preferred the bishop to take again on c6. And now I'm threatening the queen. You win time by threatening a queen, says the coach. It's the best move. That's what the star means. Queen will go to e5. And this move puts the queen on a safer square. Of course, you don't lose the queen, but look what I have now. Not the best, but knight takes on f3. Let me explain why I did it. The coach is saying you're forcing your opponent to have isolated double pawns, which ruins their structure. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Perhaps my knight could have gone to c2 to win the pawn and threaten the rook on a1. I'm not sure if that would have been the best. And let's see, of course, he'll take with the G pawn, a straightforward recapture. And although materially we are equal, you see that the F pawns are isolated, F2, F3, the H2 is isolated. And not only that, these are the pawns in front of the king. You don't want to have weaknesses in front of your king. And that is why, let's see, after the first 15 moves, my advantage is 0.5, as you see here. And it remains so. I have an advantage of 0.5. Well, it's not winning yet, but little by little, it seems I'm doing nice. I sent bishop to d7, an excellent move. You're threatening to win, to eventually win material. Rook goes to d1. They've improved the positioning of their piece. My queen goes to b4. Not the best move, but not bad either. They'd rather have my rook go to c8. And the knight goes to e4. They've offered to trade pieces of equal value. Now, what is happening if I decide to trade, the pawn on f3 goes to e4. And they don't have these doubled pawns, and they have the e and the f pawn protect each other, although they are called hanging pawns because the g and the d are missing. A little bit better than before, still have the problem with the g file that has no white pawns. And I'm going to take it. You trade off equal material, they'll take it back. Although the computer would rather have the rook, excuse me, the rook take my bishop. My next move is queen to b4. I want to exchange. Computer doesn't like it. Your better option, they say it's a mistake. When you see the question mark without exclamation, the orange circle, it's not an inaccuracy any longer. It is a mistake. And computer says your better option was to move the bishop to a more active position. Of course, c6 is in the long diagonal. Queen goes to g6. You get a chance to eventually win material. But let's see, will I take advantage of the chance or not? And a blunder. Queen goes to f5. You allow the opponent to win a bishop by overloading a defender. You missed an opportunity to eventually win material. They would rather have my bishop go to c6. And the two question marks in the red circle means it's not a mistake any longer. It is a blunder, a big mistake. We're going to see why, because when I played it, unfortunately, I didn't calculate thoroughly, and I didn't see what was the blunder, or what would be the follow-up. I wanted to start attacking to my queen to go to g6, exchange queens, have control of the g file, and threaten the king. But guess what my opponent found in... we completed the first 20 moves, and my skin has an advantage of 4.4. Now, that is significant, of course, if they follow up correctly, because the opportunity arose just now. Before my move, I had an advantage of 0.4. After this blunder, unfortunately, my skin has 4.4. But let's see if my skin will see what is the opportunity they have. And if you want, you may want to also freeze your video and see yourselves what would you have played as white. Now the answer, what should white have played? And unfortunately, they played it. Rook goes to d7. Great! Exclamation mark in a blue circle. This is a great move. Your bishop had to defend too much at once. You are going to lose material. The moment I saw it, no problem. My rook is going to take on e7. Only to find out that's impossible because the queen on g3 attacks my rook on b8. I saw it. I knew I'm down in material. Of course, at least I'm not taking the rook back because once I lose the rook on b8, it's also check. And we're talking about back rank issue. My rook will go down to d8 and then it's made in two moves. This I didn't allow. So my rook goes to c8. The computer codes would rather have me move the pawn to h6 because by doing so, I give luft, meaning I don't have back rank issue any longer. I'm still a bishop down. But myself, I felt if I'm down material, try not to exchange. Because the more material, the more the chances my opponent may blunder. Now you see also my rook on c8 cannot leave the 8th rank, otherwise b8 is lost. And the knight, oh yeah, yeah, from bad to worse. And the knight goes to d6. It's an excellent move. They attack your queen, gaining time as it must move away. And they not only attack my queen, they simultaneously attack my rook on c8. What can I do? Queen goes to c6. The reason for that is if my opponent takes my rook on c8, I take the rook on a1. And really, this comes the check. It's very powerful. Then my rook will take on c8, and I'm back in the game. At least I'm going to fight and hope that my opponent is going to miss something. Will it happen? Let's see. Nope. Rook goes to d1. What am I supposed to do now? Well, I'm already down by +3. The bishop. Let's start taking back what we can. Who knows? Rook goes to c2. I take back a pawn. If I can take another two pawns, I'm equal material. But look what it says. The code says you permitted the opponent to win a queen through a discovered attack. And not only that, there is m6, which means that if my skin plays correctly just 6 moves, it's checkmate. Will it happen? Let's see. Knight goes to e4. It is the best move. You see the star in the green circle. That discovery will cost you your queen. And I saw it. If I save my queen, it goes, for example, to b2, just give an example, or even to g6 or anywhere. Rook 2 goes to d8 check, rook b8 takes it, and rook from d1 is checkmate. So unfortunately, I cannot save my queen if I don't want to be checkmated. What can I do? Queen to e7. Yes, I know the queen is going to be lost, but these were the choices. Either lose the queen or checkmate. Very good choices, the coach. Yep. If that is a very good choice, what can you say about my position if my very good choice is to lose my queen? And yes, and my skin will take it, but instead of having M, they only lead by 7.9. It's not M any longer. And I'm taking the A2 pawn. What can I do? Take whatever we can. But now it's M1, meaning the next move is made if my skin plays correctly. Once again, if you want to see the mate in one for white, you may want to freeze your computer, to pause in fact, and see white's checkmate move. And would my skin find it? Yep. Move number 26. Queen goes to b8 checkmate. So unfortunately, my game with my skin had a very bad ending, and this was only because I made one big blunder. And then after I lost the bishop, I was trying to move that to a lower quality to get back a pawn and come back in the game. But even if I didn't do it and there was a piece down, still I would have lost. This was the unfortunate ending of the first game that I completed in the final round of Greco chess. Let's see now what is the computer review. First, we're stopping the screen. And we'll share the other screen. Here we are. We're going to see the statistics. What does the computer think about the way we played? No brilliant moves from either one of us. My skin had one great move. In the best, 7 versus 6 for my skin. In the excellent, I'm leading 4 to 3. In the good, my skin leads 5 to 3. In the book moves, 7 to 6 for my skin. So my skin ended up having 15 out of the 20. How many? 6 move being the best possible. And now inaccuracies, 3 each of us. Mistakes, I made 3 mistakes, no misses, and I had one blunder that really cost me the game. And accuracy, 90.8% for my skin, 74.4 for me. And we played as if my skin's rating was 2050 and mine was 1750. This concludes the review of this game, and not what I was hoping for, but what can you do? And let's give a look at the other tournament. At the Underwater Moonlight, the Nine Moons. What is the name of that? This? Underwater, yes, Underwater Moonlight, the Nine Moons tournament. Let's see what happens. And let's see all the pairings. A lot of groups have already been completed. Let's see which have been completed. Group 4, Iraq Lion has advanced. Rishi Raj 3 from Iraq, basically. Rishi Raj 3 from India and Vivaladivya 5 from India have advanced. Group 5, Chinanfu from Greenland, AMMT from Indonesia, and Peon Perez from Palestine have advanced. Group 6, Mathis B 2008 from France, David 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 from Brazil, and Munja 44 from Croatia have advanced. Group 7, Möbius from Nigeria, General F 66 from Uzbekistan, and Tragis from Brazil have advanced. And Group 8, my group, I'm officially out. The players that have advanced are Khaled Katab from Egypt, Eliezer MSTR from Cuba, and Gugu Sip, original from the European Union, I believe. Yep. You see here that the tie-breaking points were crucial because Aldo Temni from Netherlands also had 10, but fewer tie-breaking points. Let's see the other groups. Group 1, we have two players for sure. Lotus Time Chess from Japan and Oli Kimbo from Australia. Third place is between Marco 1409 from Germany and Caro 972 from the United States. Group 2. Same story. Two players have advanced. Spider 99 from Egypt and Luciano Cojan from Argentina. And third place is between three players. Jean Lei 123 from China, One Word from England, and Abdul Basir Karizada from Afghanistan. Group 3, the most exciting of all. Two players have advanced. Maxim Govoruk, who is also the finalist in the Greco chess, he has already advanced, and VN Karvanans from Malaysia. Hope I get it right. Yep. Has advanced in third place is between four players, and it will go down to the tie breaking. Silvio 888 from Croatia, Zanilor, who is the organizer of the tournament from Italy, RMV 9827 from Mexico, and Ray DeQuell from the United States are fighting for the next spot. Ray DeQuell must need win all his next three games to tie with 10 points, and then we'll go to tie breaking, and you see that the tie breaking points are very close to each other. So anything can happen. And group 9, the last one, a lot of games remain. About 9 or 10. Let's see how many. 6, 9, 13, 14, 16. 9 games remain. So a lot of things have happened, but it is between the top 5 players. Nothing is sure. So Joy S. Jake from South Korea and PGO74 from Italy are leading, and also Steam Rocket from Australia are leading with 11 points, but very near them is Lua000 from Spain and Lessa4101 from Brazil. Let's see what's going to happen during the next days. So this was my first unfortunate game in the final round of Greco chess. The next video will show the next game that has been completed. How did it go? In the meantime, once again, thanks to all the viewers, to the subscribers, to the likes, and to the encouraging comments. This is Harry Lassaniziris, my Greco Chess channel, and for now, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.